Hi friends, it's Lacey from Live with Lacey, Pandemonium Publishing House. I am here to answer your questions. I've tried to make this video 2 times and for some reason it didn't work. So the first time it got taken down, the second time I don't know what happened, but it did not record and the entire thing from start to finish. So let's try this again. This is the last time I'm going to do this today because this is crazy, okay? So I'm going to answer your questions in terms of what you've sent in, pandapublishing8@gmail.com. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I will get to them. And I will try my best to answer as many as I can each week, okay? So make sure you check out our website, pandemoniumpublishing.com/shop. And you're going to find some great books on there for Valentine's Day, for you and for the people that you love. So tons of books to check out, lots of new ones, all that kind of great stuff. Make sure that you're reading. Make sure you have a love of reading because that's what we really want to celebrate, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to do this again, and I'm going to start with the very first question. So what's the most overlooked marketing strategy that works for books? Okay, so I feel like authors are too reliant on having their books in an online space versus going out into the real world and meeting their readers. So I would much prefer my authors go out there, meet people, go to events, answer questions, be on panels, do as many types of things that they can do in real life, in person, versus being too reliant on the online space. Yeah, your books are going to be on Amazon, Chapters, Indigo, Barnes & Noble, all of those great places and different websites and things like that, but you can't rely on that. People want to meet you. They want to know who you are. They want to know why you write the stories that you do, and I think that that is the best marketing strategy. Anyways, I think that that is the best thing that you can do as an author. Go to as many things as you can, participate in, and meet your readers, interact with your audience. Okay, so that's the most overlooked marketing strategy. People rely too much on ads. There's so much noise in the online space that you're going to be passed over. People have ad blockers. There's so much noise that you kind of get missed, and you can't get missed in person if you go to these events and you have a table there and you have your stuff set up. So I think it's a great opportunity to get out there and meet the people who are reading your books and who have questions for you and who want to know more about your process of writing. Okay, so how can authors better collaborate with publishers on long-term branding for their careers? I'm going to say open communication with your publisher. If something isn't working, or if you have some expectations that, you're not meeting or aren't being met, or maybe you have a goal and, you're not selling as many books as you think you should be, then sit down with your publisher and say, okay, this is what I'm doing. And we're going to strategize. We're going to look for opportunities to really kind of get you into some new things. And maybe we're going to pivot that strategy. That's what marketing is about, okay? So for your long-term branding for your career, the biggest thing that you can do is chat with your publisher, show up, do the work, find things that are working, and look at the things that aren't working, and then make those changes that you need to make, okay? How much does social media presence influence your decision to sign an author? So we're going to Google you, we're going to check your social media, we're going to make sure that you are who you say you are, you're authentic, all of these things that you need to be, and that, you don't have any hate speech on your page, you are not saying inflammatory stuff that's going to come back to hurt everybody, but also is obviously not what we promote and not what we believe in. So, you got to have the same or similar values and things that you want to achieve with your book and your online presence, and that's to interact with your readers. That's to chat with people about literacy. That's to be able to connect with people in a meaningful way. Okay, so the other thing is that I never go into signing contracts with my authors based on how many followers they have, okay? Because I don't care how many followers you have. It doesn't matter, because that doesn't necessarily translate to sales whatsoever. You can have 2 million followers, and that's not necessarily going to be how many people buy your book. Not even half of that sometimes, okay? So the social media thing that I'm looking for is that You're authentic, you say who you are, and that's who you are. You're kind, you believe in literacy, you are able to communicate effectively, and also that you really believe in yourself and your books, okay? So I'm not going to care about your followers. I want you to grow your platform. I want you to interact with people. I want you to make those relationships. So the amount of followers does not really matter to me whatsoever. Okay, so what's one thing all successful authors have in common when it comes to marketing their books? This is easy. They show up and they do the work, okay? I know it sounds like here's the magic trick type of thing. That doesn't exist. You have to show up to the events. So our authors who go to events, they end up outselling the authors who don't come to events 10 to 1. Okay, that's the number for sure. We have the data. We've seen it a million times. The people who are at the events, they're able to promote their books. They're able to interact with the readers. They're able to sign the books and personalize them for, kids' books and things like that. So that's a meaningful connection, and that's what we want to see. And that's why those authors sell so many books, is because they're there. They are promoting their own stuff. They're out there talking to people, and they are answering questions that people want to know, okay? Nobody wants to meet the publisher at all, okay? They want to meet the author. You are the star of the show. They want to meet you. They want the story behind the story, and maybe they're going to ask you for writing advice. Maybe they're going to ask you, different questions about the process of writing, and that's where you get to build those relationships. So I think that that's really important. Okay, what's the next thing? What's your advice for authors who want to make publishing a long-term career, not just a one-time experience? This is easy. Keep learning, keep creating, keep improving, okay? Continue your education. Take as many courses, classes, and workshops about writing as you possibly can, because that is going to make a difference in your work, okay? You want to make sure that you are always honing your craft and always trying to be better and always trying to improve, and look at yourself as a character arc, okay? Are you a different writer than who you started out as? Have you improved? Have you gotten better? Have you taken more risks? Have you switched genres? Have you read in different genres? Have you gotten out of your comfort zone? Have you gone to events? Have you done the things that you don't want to do? Because that's where the magic happens. When we do what we don't want to do, that is such a catalyst in propelling us towards success that it can't be understated, okay? So everything you want, what's that quote, is on the other side of fear. You got to be willing to show up and to, do the unglamorous things. Tamara and I always joke about this. I hope she's watching. I'm going to tag her in this. And it's so glamorous being an author. Being an author is the most glamorous thing ever, as we drag our suitcases of inventory up a hill through the grass to set up a table in the 7,000 degree heat. Right? Or in the rain, which is not really conducive to books made of paper. So that being said, you have to understand that this is a job. This is something that you have the privilege of doing. I have the greatest job in the world, honestly, and it's because of you that I get to do what I love and what my passion and what my purpose is. So thank you so much for allowing me to do that with my life and to be able to help bring stories to the world and literacy to kids and communities. And without all of you, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you. And understand that when you keep creating and learning and improving, you're going to look at your first books and be like, wow, I have come such a long way, even in ways of thinking and, difference of ideas and things like that. So that's stuff that you really have to measure, and also understand that that's going to be the thing that allows you to continue to have longevity in this industry, okay? If you don't change, then nothing changes. How many cliches am I going to put into this today? Right? It's just stuff that's coming to mind that really makes sense. How do you decide if a book will work as part of a series versus a standalone? Okay, I always ask the question, is there more to tell? Have the characters been fully developed? Are they done with whatever they set out to do and there's nothing left? The last thing you want to do is have a series that goes on and on and on. And, I can think of a movie series right now that has I don't even know, I think it's up to 10 different movies where it's just they are repeating the same stuff. It's the same plot, just recycled. The characters are kind of stagnant. that kind of stuff. So are you doing your characters justice by continuing the series? That's a question you have to ask yourself, okay? Have they grown enough? Are there more experiences that they need to go through? Okay, that sort of stuff. So what you want to decide is, first of all, have a conversation with your publisher. If you're querying us and you're saying, you know what, this may be a series, it may not be, I'm waiting to find out what you think, we can decide on that together. Publishers are really good at, figuring out, is this a standalone or is this something that we can continue? Is there character growth here? Is there, more to the story? Is there more to the plot? Can we switch this up a little bit? So go in with an open mind. Even if you have a series in mind, make sure you communicate that to your publisher, but just understand that maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. Okay? So what's the most overlooked marketing strategy that works for books? Authors, don't be too reliant on the online space. Get out there and make sure that you're doing events. How can authors better collaborate with publishers on long-term branding for their careers? Communication is key. Tell us what you're struggling with. Tell us what you're being successful with. What's working for you? What isn't? What are your goals? You can't hit a target that you can't see. There's another cliche for you, okay? But you can't. You can't hit a target that you can't see. And we can't help you get to that target if we don't know what your goals are. So start there, okay? How much does social media presence influence your decision to sign an author? I said we check into you. We make sure you are who you say you are and that, you are promoting good things online. I don't care about the followers, the amount of followers that you have, because that doesn't always translate to sales. Okay, one thing that all successful authors have in common when it comes to marketing their books, they show up, they do the work, they're at the tables, they are doing events, they are meeting their customers and readers and audience, and they're taking risks, and they're doing as many things as they can possibly do to promote themselves and their books while building those meaningful relationships. What's your advice for authors who want to make publishing a long-term career, not just a one-time experience? That is, keep creating, learning, and improving. Take as much continuing education as you can. Check it out on our website, pandemoniumpublishing.com, and you're going to see a tab that says Learn with Us. Those are all the classes and stuff that we offer that are fantastic, and I'm your mentor, so we work closely together one-on-one. And how do you decide if a book will work as part of a series versus a standalone? Is there more to tell? Are my characters done? Is the story over? And have a chat with your publisher. Send me your questions, pandapublishing8@gmail.com, and I will try and answer them every single week. Thanks so much for sending these in, and I hope that you have a really great rest of your week. Happy Valentine's Day, and check out the books that we love at pandemoniumpublishing.com/shop.